Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys how to modify the wheels on a Jeep Hurricane. Now, with the other power wheels, they have a limited traction, so a lot of guys have a tendency to put these tires, they'll wrap them around, screw them in, give them extra traction, but it doesn't look that great. So I wanted to find a unique way of giving this decent traction, which it already has, it's not too bad, but also a smooth ride. If you notice, the tires are pretty rough, so when you get on a hard surface, it's really noisy and the girls don't like the ride, so they stopped driving this a little while ago. So I came up with an idea on how to use a pneumatic tire on the actual factory rim so I don't have to do any modifications to the axle. And it's actually a garden tractor tire. It's 8-inch in diameter with a slight modification to. Okay, so we removed all the wheels from it. It's pretty easy. You got these little caps with screws in them to undo them. And then we get to the tires. So when you get to the tire and you flip it over, you can see that you have 6 holes in here. There's 6 Phillips head screws. When you remove them, you have your split wheels. So from this point, what you need to do is a little bit of a modification. If you see closely, you got these little tabs sitting out here. You got small tabs on this side, and these little ridges have to be ground down a little bit. On the back side, you have a giant tab on this side, and another one here, another one here that need to be ground down. Once you get those down, you'll be able to fit this tire. This is a 16 by 6.5 by 8-inch, and picked up some inner tubes as well. And these guys are 480 by 8-inch tubes. I got them online through Walmart, relatively cheap, and they go together pretty easy. So let me get this going and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so what we were talking about before was grinding these down. So what I did was I went ahead and ground them down, took off the little tabs, and then also had to drill a hole for a valve stem. So if you look over here, we drilled a hole, and you can see approximately 1.5 inches from the lip for our inner tube. Okay, from this point, now that we have them ground down, we're going to take the outer part, we're going to set it into the wheel, flip it upside down. Then what you're going to do is take your tube and you can see where the valve stem is. We want the valve stem pointing downward, and we're going to go ahead and feed it around inside and then put the second part of the wheel on and screw it together. Okay, so if you can look inside, you can kind of see where the valve stem's sitting in right here, and the tube is sitting inside the wheel and the tire itself. And our next step will be to take the rear piece, to line it up, push it together, and screw it back together. Now, in order to screw it together, I decided not to use the stock screws, which are these little guys right here. I went to a washer with a 2.5-inch screw to give it a little bit more strength to hold it together. Now, keep in mind they are plastic rims, so we're not going to use excessive amount of air pressure in these. About 10 pounds works perfect. More to come, hold on. Okay, for my next video, I'm going to ramp this Jeep up to 24 volts with a variable pedal and controller, and we'll see what happens.